Hey, it's Gino here from Real Everyday English. Join me in this week's lesson and find out how to use the word crack in British English. Let's do this. Hey, happy Sunday. Welcome back to the channel. How are you feeling today? Let me know in the comments below. I personally feel great because I'm here teaching you guys English, which is what I love to do. So without any further ado, let's get into this week's topic. Okay, so the word crack. You will hear it everywhere, especially in British English, in all English I think, but in British English we have some specific uses of the word, which I'm not sure if they use in American English, for example. Maybe my buddy, Sean, at $3.99 English can comment below and let us all know which of these fit the American or Canadian English model. So, the word crack as a noun is a line in something, usually a surface, that is due to splitting, but it hasn't come apart. So it's a piece of damage on something. So, for example, this phone screen is cracked. Can you see the cracks? Each one of these lines is a crack. So that's how we use it as a noun, but you can also use it as a verb. And the verb basically means to do this. So if I smash this phone into the table, I crack the screen. I have cracked the screen, and it's a verb, and it's to cause this kind of effect in a wall, in a cup, in a plate, in a phone, whatever it is that you've done. So in addition to the noun and the verb, we also use it in a number of different ways, and I'm going to explain the main ones here. First one is crack on. Now you will hear me say this all the time on this channel, and it means to proceed or continue quickly. So you will hear me often when I give an example and I'll say something like, let's crack on to the next example, and it means let's move forward, let's progress, let's continue on to the next thing. Another thing you can use this with is if you have a lot of work to do and somebody is talking to you constantly, you can say, sorry, I can't talk, I really need to crack on because my boss needs this work doing. Another way we use it is the phrase crack up. Now this has two different meanings. So the first one means to suffer an emotional breakdown or to lose your sanity. So you'll often hear people say things like, I've got too much work to do, I feel like I'm cracking up. And it means they feel like they're going crazy. So if someone cracks up, they either suffer a breakdown or they lose their sanity. And it can be quite serious, or it can be said in a joking way as well. Second use of the phrase crack up means to burst into laughter. So if you say something to someone and they burst into laughter, laughing, you could say that I only said this and he cracked up, they cracked up. Another way we use it is if somebody has done something funny, when you eventually stop laughing, you can say, oh, you crack me up. You crack me up, and it means you make me laugh. Another way we use the word crack is to have a crack at something. So to have a crack at, and that means to attempt or try to do something. So to give you an example, if I'm trying to screw this lid back onto the pen and I can't do it, and you're sat at the side of me, you could say, oh, let me have a crack at that. Let me have a crack at that. And it means let me have a try at that. You can also say, I'm going to have a crack at passing my English A level, or I'm going to have a crack at learning German, or whatever it is you're going to attempt or try. Next use of the word crack is to master something or to find a solution to something. So if you've been learning something for a while and then you eventually feel like you've mastered it, you can say, oh, I've cracked it. So an example, if someone has been learning the piano for 2 or 3 years and then they feel like they've reached a high level of playing the piano, they can say something like, oh, I've been learning for 3 years, but I really feel like I've cracked it. Another example is if I'm learning one of my children to ride a bike and they eventually are able to ride the bike on their own without the stabilizers on the side to keep them in balance. I can say, oh, she's finally cracked it. And it means that she's able to do that now. She's mastered it. Another way you'll hear this is with a code, for example. So a safe is a box in which people put money, and there's usually a code on the front or a combination of numbers. If you have a safe and you've forgotten the number, I don't know what it is anymore, then you can keep trying to crack it. And when you eventually open the safe, you can say, oh, I've cracked the code. I cracked the code. Next one is crack open, which means usually with an alcoholic drink, but you can use it with any bottle or can of anything really. You can say, I'm going to crack open a cold one. A cold one is code for beer. So you'll often hear people say, I'm going to crack open a couple of cold ones. And it basically just means to open it. Okay, moving swiftly on. The next one, crack, means punch. So if you're watching a boxing fight, there's two boxers, and one of the boxers punches the other one in the chin. You can say something like, oh, he cracked him straight in the chin. So a punch is a crack. He gave him a crack. It means he gave him a punch. Next use of the word crack is joke. So you'll often hear the phrase crack a joke, and it means to tell a joke. But you'll often hear it without the word joke as well. So you can say, oh, somebody was talking and he would make the odd crack, and that means he would tell the odd joke. Another way we use this is to describe having fun with other people and telling jokes and having as we call it, banter, which is good conversations which make you laugh. So to give you an example of this, I like going to work because we always have the crack. We always have the crack, and it means we have a good time, we have a laugh, and we make each other laugh. That's what that means. Another one you will hear all the time is crack down. And crack down means to take actions or measures to enforce rules or laws. So for example, you will often hear it in relation with the police. So in this area, the police are really cracking down on drugs, and it means they're really enforcing the rules and the laws that say that you're not allowed to have drugs or whatever it is. Please don't forget to share this video far and wide if you found it useful, and I'll see you people in the next video. Ciao.